Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up. You also find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. or go to my website at macjacksonjr.com and register for one of my reports on identity theft and fraud for your family. I'm here in our second segment, or well, basically our third segment, but I wanted to continue our interview with technology futurist Sierra Maduro. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mac.
Very good. Thank you for being in our second segment. So I'm so excited to continue this conversation with you about automation and how technology is changing and forming our society, which we live right now. We were talking about autonomous vehicles during the break. Tell me what you think about that whole idea of having an autonomous vehicle there in Oregon.
Personally, I'm really excited about it. I mean, I know that one of the hardest hurdles that autonomous vehicles are going to have is actually public perception. I mean, that's going to be the number one hurdle that they have to cross.
Yes.
I am very excited about them. And I'm excited about them for precisely the reasons that I love technology. Technology is excellent at doing repetitive tasks very quickly, and it's very good at analyzing data. And if you think about what driving is, it's analyzing a whole lot of data,
right,
and reacting to that data very quickly. Cars are going to be able to do that with the computer on them far better than a lot of humans do. So I'm very excited to see what autonomous vehicles are going to be bringing to us and the ability to have safer streets.
Very true. It's going to be interesting to see, a couple of emails I've gotten from people that ask the question about autonomous vehicles. They would say, well, how would the insurance be handled? If you get hit by an autonomous vehicle, would it be the company's fault, or can they come after the programmer who maybe didn't program it correctly?
Yeah, and that's the problem that we have with all emerging technologies.
Right.
Legislation and regulations never keep up with the pace of change in technology.
That's the
and
problem.
That's the same thing we're starting to see with autonomous vehicles, either from the city, county, local legislature saying, we don't want those around here right now.
Right.
Or the questions around how does insurance handle it? Who's liable? Who's at fault? What's going to happen? That's all down to regulations and legislation that we don't really have in place yet to understand what does it mean for the car to drive itself.
Exactly. So let's make it even more scarier. If we add in the hacking factor of hackers being able to acquire or compromise the security of these vehicles, like you said, legislation is slow. Government moves very slow. And in the evil world, the Dr. Evil world, if you would, there's no honor amongst thieves. So they do not move slow. They move very fast in trying to bring down society or whatever malicious activities that they're doing. So we're going to have that pitfall too. What do you think about that, having automation threatened by hacking?
Well, you're completely right, and it's one of those areas where, I'll be honest, I wish we didn't have to think about it, but we do.
Yes.
So to be realistic about it, so there's a couple of things that we have to think about when we think about security and autonomous vehicles, and really all of that entire class of robotics and autonomous control.
Right.
The first thing to think about is, despite the fact that we're not really thinking about it right now, our cars are, to some degree, autonomous vehicles already.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
if you think about fuel control, braking, steering, all of that is electronic.
Tires, tire pressure, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is electronic right now. And an increasing number of newer vehicles are also connected to the internet.
Yes.
So regardless of whether you think you're driving that car or you think that the car is driving itself,
Right.
in the future autonomous vehicle kind of thing, there's still the opportunity for hackers to compromise a vehicle right now,
Right.
let alone in the future.
Right.
So that's the first thing, to just, take your head out of the sand and realize that we're already at risk.
Exactly. So what do you think about some of the things that pitfalls or ways that we can prevent or mitigate some of this? Would better Q&A or testing, maybe by third parties, be underway, or ways that we could make these vehicles safer?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things, and these are basic safety tips around anything that is a connected device.
Mm-hmm.
The first is, if you don't need to be connected at a particular moment, disconnect.
Right.
Turn it off.
Makes sense, yeah.
The hackers can't access anything that you've disconnected from the internet. So that's the first fundamental thing, is just turn it off.
Unplug it, yes.
So, and the same will be true with cars and autonomous vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
There's a significant amount of processing and driving that autonomous vehicles can do without having an active connection. Without that active connection, there's no way for the hackers to compromise it. So I think that minimizing the amount of connectedness that the autonomous vehicles need to have
Yes.
will be a step in the right direction. The other, and the one that's a little bit more on the techie side, is really going to be around encryption.
Oh, okay, yes.
And encrypting not only the device itself, basically the computer
Mm-hmm.
that's on board,
Mm-hmm.
but also encrypting all of the communication
Mm-hmm.
that's happening between that computer and other devices that are within that computer. So if the computer is telling the front wheels to turn to the left, then that communication stream is going to need to be encrypted as well,
Mm-hmm.
because that's going to prevent what's called a man-in-the-middle attack.
Yes.
Of,
Yes.
just getting right there in the middle and saying, nope, we actually meant turn right.
Right. Yeah.
So that encryption point-to-point within the system,
Mm-hmm.
as well as it's accessing the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
that encryption is going to really go a long way to making the autonomous vehicles considerably safer.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're hoping that these manufacturers will see the threats that are out there and put in more research and development. I'm sure there are. I understand that some of these manufacturers are hiring hackers to see if they can hack into their cars and their automobiles and stuff.
Yeah, the white hat, which is the good guys who are hackers.
Yes.
White hat hacking is actually a strongly growing profession.
Yes, it is.
Because of things like this, autonomous vehicles, robotics, even the virtual and augmented reality kinds of emerging technologies. Being able to hack into those is something that, yes, the bad guys want to do that.
Yes.
But we have to have the good guys to be able to hack into it first and expose those vulnerabilities so that we can fix them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, definitely there'll be a lot of that happening. And before we run out of time, I also want to throw in the flying cars. You mentioned about flying cars. There are drones now that I've seen that are coming out here within 3 to 5 years that can carry individuals. There's talk of bringing in drones here in Las Vegas, where high rollers can fly between casinos in a drone versus taking a limo. I don't know. But yes, that's also happening in our society. Drone technology is becoming very, very popular, if you would, and there's lots of technology going on behind that. We should expect a lot of that happening here real soon.
And once again, that's another area where legislation is lagging behind the technology.
Yes, it really is. It needs. We definitely need to have more, but getting people involved and educating them, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on our show, is to help educate the public so they understand some things that they need to be aware of. And if they're not aware of it, well, now they have an opportunity to learn more about it. Sierra, why don't you tell everybody your website again and how to get a hold of you so they can be able to send you emails and information?
Sure. My website is technicalfuturist.com. and also sierramadro.com. And I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of the usual places. I am sierramadro.com. And just in case, Modro is M-O-D-R-O.
M-O-D-R-O, Modro. Sierra Modro. Very good.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Sierra, for being with me today
Okay.
on our show. And everyone else, we'll be right back after these messages.